Bear, bear, bear.
Pow, 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 pow.
Welcome to another episode of Like I Was Saying with your girl,
Velvet, and your girl,
Fee Baby.
but you like me better.
All this low energy over here. Are you sure?
Yes, they love me.
Why can't they just love us equally? Why does one have to be loved more?
Because that's how the world works.
If you gotta claim it, doesn't necessarily mean it's yours.
But I'm just saying. Or does it?
Welcome back, guys.
Or does it?
Velvet.
We're so happy y'all are here.
She's still trying to hurt my nerves, guys. Y'all see it? Comment. Y'all be seeing it. Y'all be seeing it.
But y'all don't see behind scenes, though. One day I'm gonna just put on record and y'all gonna hear. And I'm gonna say, you know what? Let's just put Fee out there. She like to play V. Let's put Fee.
I just be here chilling. I just be here chilling like a villain. You know what I'm saying?
And people that know Fee, baby, y'all comment down below and see, do y'all think she really be chilling like that? I'm not gonna spew lies like she's spewing over here. And she talking about some, I don't lie. Bitch over here lying.
Anywho, again, welcome back, everybody. These us misguided hoes coming back here.
Yes.
New, old, reoccurring, putting other people on, tuning in for the first time.
Everything.
Yes.
You know. Welcome to our queendom.
Yes, queendom. I like that. I like that.
I try to come up with stuff sometimes.
You know, a little here and there. I hope everyone's been having a good week.
Yes, and a good weekend. Hopefully y'all got to enjoy some good weather.
Right. You know,
got to relax and stuff. That's important.
Continue to push through, kicking ass, taking names.
All of it. All collecting money.
Right.
You know, let's put that at the top.
We know it'd be hard pushing these jobs. Woo. We know. Woo. We get it. You want to do something else?
Yes.
Make that change. Take that chance. Do it.
Yes.
You got
What
it.
are we doing?
I don't know what this is, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Starting now. I'm with you. Is this the snap for us? This is our okay.
They do that on it's a show that me and my best friend watch. I can't remember. Yeah, they do that when they do it really good. Yeah.
Got it. So yeah, how has your week slash weekend been? What's been going on?
I am finally off of that long schedule.
Oh, that 12-hour day, all the days.
All the days of the week.
It's like you just immediately reminded yourself, and your eyes just like,
yeah. It was stressful. No, it's not terrible. It's just, it was a lot.
Well, you know, we all sending thoughts of that money, that check gonna look exactly the sweat and tears you put into that time.
Amen. I accept all of it.
It will be reciprocated through monetary transactions.
I hope so. Let it come through, Lord. Let it come true. Amen. Other than that, Sunday was my first day off and hung out with you.
Sunday, yes.
Went to the new bar Tiki's in Virginia Beach, off of Holland Road. It was good.
Anybody who's familiar, it used to be Auntie's something or another. It used to be a Filipino restaurant on Holland, but it's changed.
And it's a tiki bar. I got a cup, which I'm super excited about.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment to go grab it and show everyone?
You can go.
Cup? I have no fucking clue.
On the counter.
Please hold.
She thought I was gonna get up. She thought wrong. But while she's gone, I went ahead and got a cup. I like collecting cups and like shot glasses for some reason. So that's just me. So there were several that I liked. There was one I really, really liked, but it wasn't for sale. But I got this, and I'm really excited about using it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Do you have a name?
No, I haven't gotten that far. It was day one of off of work.
Yeah,
so.
they had a lot of different
Yeah.
options.
I wanted the one that looked like a
Cool.
woman, but I'm gonna have to find it somewhere
Yeah,
else.
I think we need to get clarification about what that top shelf is for.
Yeah.
Because they have different levels of like cups, and some are like the 20. Then there's like a certain shelf. I'm like not too clear if you can purchase.
No,
those.
you can't. She was like, no, it's for the regulars that have purchased the cup, and so when they come in, that's the cup they use.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Okay.
So, because I had asked, I was like, how much is that
That's
green one? Because that's the one that I want. And she was like, everyone always asks for that
I
one.
must have missed that part.
You know, that's what dollar mimosas do for you.
Every Saturday and Sunday, 11 to
2.
2.
Yes, 11 to 2.
Mhm.
And so they had dollar mimosas, dollar Bloody Marys.
Yes, yes.
And your girl, Fee, would not take a shot with your girl, Velvet. So I had to go into the world at the place.
So we're going to preface this, but hold on. Velvet was going to enjoy herself. I was going to make sure at least one of us had a little bit of soberness. So I have only three, maybe 4 mimosas.
Yeah, you had
I was
fun.
like, I don't need to mix it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to let you live your best life. Take your shots and I'll drive.
We could have sat there for another 30 minutes and we would have been good.
Girl, I would just had another drink. I don't sit at a bar. Like, give me another drink if I'm sitting there.
I'm weak. But I did call upon my peers and had a drink with a lady that actually just moved here.
From Richmond.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And so we chatted for a bit, took a shot. That was fun. And then, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
It
Tiki's
good.
was a nice, like, cool
vibe.
The
And
food was good.
oh, my God.
Drinks were good.
Yeah.
Service was great.
Yes.
Sydney was her name.
I'm glad you remember because I was going to say she has long, beautiful hair.
Shout out to Sydney. She took very good care of us.
Absolutely. It was delicious.
Yeah, we didn't get her the other person's name. He gave us really good food recommendations.
Yes, the gentleman.
Didn't get his name though.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
but
was very nice.
We gonna have to start seeking out on a Saturday and Sunday now.
Facts, yes.
That-
I already have a
wasn't-
plan to go
I
back.
think it was like $18 for me to go. I'm like, I don't remember the last time I
Just-
seen a bill this low. Period.
Especially for the food amount that you got.
Yes.
And the drinks were good. They weren't like watered down. It was, you
Yeah.
got a good,
Mm-hmm. We got like a surf and turf burger.
Woo!
Beef,
That bit
like,
was hitting.
a very lightly breaded
Shrimp.
Shrimp. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It was so good. Could only eat about half the burger.
And I had a quarter.
Yeah, it was good though.
It was. I
It
really
was
enjoyed it.
Super good.
Yeah. So we'll have to be going back for
And
sure.
they have lumpia. We didn't realize that.
I didn't either
after
because
fact.
Velvet loves lumpia,
Mhm.
and I absolutely would have got. I could have ate both, but we could have. I could have got the lumpia. You could have got a burger. We could have split it. Look at this.
You guys, the way this bitch was bartering the whole time, trying to get desserts in the end. Like, oh, I want this dessert, but I want this dessert. How about you get this dessert? I get this dessert, and we. I'm like, look.
But in reality, we would swap. We would.
But like in the
mix.
end.
She would literally take it all home, so that's a win-win for you.
But like in the end, neither of us had room
oh yeah, no,
for
no.
none of that.
At all.
None of that. None of it.
At all. But yes, but you act like when I be doing it, it's bad. You literally gonna take it with you because I ain't gonna eat it.
I don't do sweets like that though.
Yes, but you act like you don't got 18 sisters.
And you and I both, we have the same amount of sisters.
I know. But some of them live with you, so it's different. I may not see mine for a while.
Touche,
Yeah.
Bobby Boucher.
Uh-huh.
Touche. So yeah, that was.
Sunday.
Oh
then-
wait, no, that wasn't all of Sunday. What we do after Tiki's?
Bowling.
Bowling.
Yes.
Bowling.
Yes, that was fun. And apparently I look real good because I
Yo,
was getting hit.
He's trying to eat Velvet up. You hear me?
Literally though, you remember what he
We
said?
have an invite on Monday to go bowling. And
Mondays and Sundays.
We
He
going
said
to-
on Monday nights you come in both for free. On Sundays, in the
Mornings?
daytime,
Mhm.
you come both until about 2. And I was like, okay. But what was funny is because my name on the board said Velvet.
Yeah.
That's why I said we said eat you up. That shit was funny as fuck. So on the board, my name said Velvet, and hers said Feet. Yes. And so he was like, and Velvet, and I was like, yep. He said, like the cake, and I said, yep. He said, ooh, I bet. And I was like, oh.
He absolutely tried it.
Oh my God. And I just was like,
Absolutely.
I laughed so fucking
And he was our server.
And he was young as fuck.
He was, wasn't he?
Yes, he was like 22 tops.
Tops, yeah.
Because he was serving, so I think you have to be 21 to like
At
for
least,
alcohol.
right.
He was at least 20.
He was super
most
young,
20.
but he wanted him some velvet.
He wanted some cake.
He wanted cake. He wanted him some you.
No, I'm good.
That whole night was so fun. Like we had like I don't know if there were a couple who were bowling beside us.
Oh my God, they were hilarious. I would love to see them again. They were hilarious. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yes.
He was like, I let her win.
Yeah, and she was like acting like she was whooping ass, and then when she walked away, he was like, I'm just trying to, prepare her for, the league.
Yeah, because we about to play. And then he literally came back.
Whooped her. Like, he was whooping ass. Strike.
Yes. And I was like, dang, you need to teach me how to bowl.
And he was like, look, I ain't gonna let up on her no more. And every time he hit that strike, he looked over us like.
And I know, and I was like, okay.
I almost fell out. And
but in my head, I was thinking, you ain't getting none tonight.
None.
Because she don't seem like the type. Like me,
she walked
I
away.
like the competitiveness.
She was mad.
She was not.
She walked
was
away
not for the shit.
I would say every other time he got them strikes,
she walked away.
She disappeared. Like what?
She went to prepare herself. She said, I need to breathe and come back because it's just a game. But I was like, sir, you ain't getting none tonight from her. I'm telling you right now. If that's what your relationship is, you was getting zero.
Yeah.
Because she was not happy.
Yeah.
When she was happy, when she won, and you should have let it be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you went back and tore their ass up, I think he had 100 and some crazy shit. And she had like 79.
But I liked it because they were also giving us like free game throughout. Like when I would bowl, she'd like say something to kind of like help me out because like I was loving it. They were really good company, but with whatever they had going on in their own little space, I agree. Some shit was getting a little hot.
Mm-hmm.
But they were really a good time. Like while we were there, then there was like a group of like 4 young military guys.
Were they military? I thought they were like
absolutely.
18.
No, they were absolutely
17.
I could tell by the cuts.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
They were
to
100% military.
One was goofy as fuck. I know that much.
Yes.
But the other ones,
They were let me cradle it in the crease of my arm and toss that bitch.
Yeah, I thought that shit was gonna fly over and hit a bit. I was like, no, bro, y'all need to calm down on that. So yes, that was Sunday.
You were there bowling for a bit. I really enjoyed. Like I haven't been bowling in forever.
I don't think I've been in a while either.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Then yeah, it was Sunday.
Yeah, and then Monday I was off. Because I needed 2 days, after my 14-day streak of working. And so I chilled in the morning. Got my computer back, y'all. My computer is fixed. Yes. It is fixed. Thank God.
I don't know if we let you in on all the technological difficulties that we've been having, but Velvet has definitely, because we recorded everything on her own personal equipment. We had some technical difficulties. She was doing a very big kind of workaround.
It was a lot, y'all.
And so now she has her computer back after having it fixed.
I'm so happy that it's back in the name of Jesus. Amen. And so that's back. And then I chilled out with Fee Baby on Monday too. We went paddle boating for the first time ever for me. It was a lot of exercise. So that was fun, I guess. No, it was.
Let's talk about
the sun. It was a lot of sun. The sun is what got me. But Velvet was tired after that. It wasn't even the exercise piece. It was, I felt drained. Like I was like, why?
The sun takes so much.
Oh my God.
That's what they talk about, like when kids going outside playing and stuff. Like the sun takes so much out of you. It just draws so much energy. Like there was, we had it for about an hour. And a good portion of the entire area that you're able to paddle on is in the water. For those who are local, Sandy Bottom Trail in Hampton.
Yeah.
You can rent paddle boats, canoes, kayaks, and john boats. The john boats take a lot of energy. So just FYI. Nonetheless, so like the majority of the area that you're able to go around is sun. Like there's full sun. There's a small part that isn't as sunny.
Small.
And it's shaded a bit.
Yes,
but
that
like,
much.
Once you get into like the main area where there's just nothing but sun, it's just like
it literally hits you. And I was trying to maneuver so we get to, and I was like, oh my God, it's just all over me. And I was like, I wish I had my big hat. I should have brought it because I thought about it, and I was like, I really should have brought my big ass hat because I'd have been chilling.
Yeah, because that sun was no joke. I didn't even realize how much I was sweating until we got out of the car.
Girl.
I said, damn my back, damn my ass, damn my back and my ass. It's just sweaty.
It was very, yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah. So we lost about 3 pounds.
All in sweat.
All in sweat because it was hot as fuck outside. It was crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm good on that.
It has been very hot here. Like, even with, like, the amount of, like,
rain and storm.
Rain we've been getting, or, like, projected to get. We've still been getting a lot of sun. Like, even today it's been very hot, and there was, like, maybe a 20 to 30% chance of rain. Still super hot.
I ain't even went outside today, so.
Please don't.
I will be going outside, though, after I leave here. I actually wanted to go to the beach, so that is something that I may do, depending upon my other plans, depending upon what those are, but I've really been wanting to go to, not to like, I don't want to get in the water, but like just go and sit and read a book or something, so I may do that, actually, after this.
Okay. Okay, yes. Sounds like a very productive,
day?
Weekend. Yeah.
Yes, it was fun. For the most, Sunday was fun. Monday was good. I came back chilled. And apparently over the last week, it's been interesting conversations with people. So
yeah, learning patience. Learning how to communicate.
Yes, learning what to say.
Yes, and that's with anything. Like saying when it comes to either expectations, whether that's work, whether that's personal.
Exactly.
Understanding how to say it, understanding how you may feel while it's validated, expressing that there's a different way going about that.
Yeah.
Because always because it's your emotions, there's a different kind of defense piece that goes into it with how you want to approach that conversation.
Yeah. And sometimes it may just come out. And you be like, ooh, I probably should have thought about that.
Sometimes the rawness is validated and needed. But, you know, sometimes you also got to learn how to curate.
Yes. And sometimes Velvet can't do that. So usually if I have to curate something, but I'm emotionally in it a lot, I'm like, all right, let me hit up. It's like 2 or 3 people that I hit up. Sweet Baby's one.
I'm one of the ones that sends her a paragraph. I'm like, okay, this is what we talked about. Let me regurgitate it to you in a paragraph.
Yeah. Because if I'm in a certain mood or feeling, I don't curate well at all. Right. It's just this is how I feel. That's what it is. You take it, leave it, or you know. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is at that point. And I really be trying to, but then when I'm doing it, I'm like, man, fuck that shit.
Just firing off.
Yes, them fingers be going, y'all. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. Click. And then later on, I'm like, oh shit, I probably should have did that, huh? Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Facts. But how was yours? You know, except for Sunday.
Yes.
So Saturday.
Saturday, I spent putting together a puzzle with one of my sisters. This one really kicked our ass. I had a lot of very similar colors in it, so it was very difficult to place it, put it together. I ended Saturday by going to see a movie.
Okay.
The movie, which I didn't even hear about, was Free Guy. It's a Ryan.
Yeah, was it good?
It was.
Okay.
It was. It's a movie surrounded by Ryan Reynolds is the main character. It's about kind of like a video game premise, if you will. But it was really good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, because I do sometimes think that Ryan Reynolds has kind of like a corny aspect to him. But
absolutely.
But I definitely enjoyed it. It was good.
I think my son wanted to see it, and I was like, we can watch it, but I was not going to the movie theater. So.
It was really good. I definitely enjoyed it. Sunday, as you'd mentioned.
You hung out with me all day.
Monday.
As I mentioned.
As you mentioned. Just been chilling for the most part, hanging out.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
So I think it was a relaxing but fun weekend filled with laughter and love and, you know, getting to see people that you wanted to see and things of that nature. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So there's the recap. We always hit you with the recap.
That.
Let's go ahead and dive in. Whoa.
Oh no.
Let's go ahead and hit these
the topic.
Hitting the presses. So yeah, what we got going on?
So apparently 75-ish doctors walked out and protest over the unvaccinated COVID-19 patients. And like the places that are most affected is what is happening.
Oh yes. It was in Florida.
Yes,
so
the doctors walk out. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think, because your duty is to assist people.
Sure.
Regardless of if they're vaccinated or not, or whatever they say, they're raised by XYZ. If they have insurance, not insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what happens at a hospital. Mm-hmm. They go in for assistance, and you're supposed to assist them. So them walking out in protest is very interesting. One, if other people have crazy emergencies and they are vaccinated and y'all are just walking out because they're unvaccinated, now you leave the hospital with no doctors or very few. So that puts that hospital at a whole other risk for other things. Quite sure a suit shall probably be coming up at some point, especially for patients that were already there. What if something happens and now there's no fucking doctors? So now that patient dies, that family's gonna sue the fuck out y'all. Period. I can't blame them. That's my thought.
Okay.
I guess you can say what you're saying. Maybe we can converse further, but that's all I got on that.
Sure. So, I've seen a lot of kind of some of the points that you pointed out, but doctors are on the side, like they went to school and they're on the side of medicine, right? And a lot of, from what I've been reading and what I've been seeing, a lot of the people they're treating and seeing in hospitals for COVID are unvaccinated people. So for them, it's you either don't subscribe, refuse to, or don't believe in the vaccination.
Correct.
Right? But you contract COVID, and then you come into the hospital to be treated for COVID. But you don't believe, almost as like a lot of people, some that don't believe in the vaccination, also to an extent, there's certain fallacies they believe about COVID. So you don't believe in the vaccine, you don't believe in COVID, but when you catch COVID, you come to the hospital and you're coming in waves. Like it's an overwhelming amount. Like these hospitals, especially in Florida, I was reading, I think Florida, Alabama, Texas, there are multiple states right now that are at capacity for their NICU beds to treat people with COVID. There was one hospital that literally had one bed left. So you don't believe in the scientific piece of it. You don't believe in the medicine. But when you contract this, and it is a life-threatening thing for some people, you want immediate attention and you want medical attention to relieve the symptoms that you have. So I can see and I can empathize with someone who's in the medical field who is frustrated with seeing people time and time again come in who don't subscribe, who don't believe in the medical piece to it, but want medical attention when they contract what they don't believe in, or they don't put weight into, even though they have the medical facts available to them. While yes, the walkout piece, the protest piece can put people who are not in crossfire in jeopardy. However, that does happen in situations where there are protests. You have to think about what again, just speaking for the doctor's piece, what the main purpose of you doing the walkout is. And you have to weigh out the pros and cons. Again, I understand where you're coming from, those who are completely unaffected by it, who may be in for something completely unrelated to COVID that are coming in. I would imagine there's some type of fall safe thing, redirect to other hospitals type thing. But sometimes I understand.
But yes. Continue. I said we're gonna have a conversation depending on what you say.
Yes, but you always put the devil advocate piece. But we'll let that go. We'll let it go.
I'm not playing devil advocate.
I'm letting it go. So, but I can understand doctors who have since the beginning of the pandemic been seeing their hospitals flooded with COVID, like still being so frustrated because they're not getting any type of relief. And now they're seeing nothing, the majority, the overwhelming amount of people, because obviously people who get the vaccination still have the possibility of contracting it, not as high as a percentage as someone unvaccinated, but the majority of the patients they're seeing are unvaccinated. There was actually a nurse who posted a video, who's been a COVID nurse since the pandemic has hit, and she had her daughter's friend's parents, both of the parents came into her NICU with COVID, both of them unvaccinated. One of them having a much more difficult time with trying to recuperate from COVID than the other. And her trying to explain to her daughter that there's a possibility one of the parents may not come back home. And the daughter wanting to say Mom, help them, save them. It's going to be what it's going to be. This is something that impacts your body. And so it's just one of those things that I can empathize with where the doctors are coming from. They've been inundated since the pandemic has hit, and it's becoming even worse now that the Delta variant has hit, especially with those who are unvaccinated. That's my stance on that piece. So, we're going to move from that.
You don't want to have a conversation?
We don't have conversations on this one. Well, the last time we had a video on it, the conversation didn't go.
What do you mean? It's just a conversation.
It wasn't a conversation.
What was it?
It was a devil's advocate conversation.
It's not devil's advocate.
Not necessarily things that you believe, but more or less things that you were like, well, have you thought about this piece or this corner?
But that is what the podcast is to talk about all of these things. No? Okay. That's the whole point of a podcast. Regardless if I believe it or not, there are definitely some of those things I absolutely believe in. And one, I don't believe those doctors should walk out. But that's, again, my opinion on it. Only because there's also other people that need assistance in that same area that could die because there ain't no doctors in there. Or, as you stated, could be switched over to another hospital. But by the time you get to that hospital, that person is now dead because there are no doctors to assist them.
Sure. I definitely hear what you're saying there. I think that they are evaluating in the grand scheme the people who die of COVID right now, or the people who are occupying the beds that could be occupied by people who do need those beds who are not COVID affected, are outweighing very greatly those who are coming in for severe health problems, again, completely unrelated, or could be those who are immune compromised, who can't get the vaccine, or are having complications with COVID, or independently from, that could and need those beds, but don't have access to them because there are individuals who don't believe in the science of the vaccination or don't believe in COVID. But again, that's very difficult when you come in for treatment of COVID. There afterwards, again, those people who think it's the same as the flu, a lot of people who do contract the flu do not go to the doctor. They wait it out. But as soon as they believe they may have COVID, they go into the doctor immediately, but take no type of precautionary or preventative measures prior to.
So it sounds like they're trying to force people to get COVID.
I'm not saying it's forcing at all. What I'm saying is they are medical based.
Yeah, but so they are protesting, which leaves the hospital with no doctors or very few or whatever. I don't know what it leaves them with. I'm quite sure there is some type of fail-safe at some point. But 75 doctors is a lot. But leaves the hospital with less doctors and less people to assist other people. So it sounds like the medical field in general probably needs to come up with a different plan outside of what they currently have. So if you're coming in for COVID, maybe there is a different location that they need to set up for. So it sounds like another plan needs to be had. Sure. And outside of the current one, if they're taking up all of the beds, then to me, thinking through things that you should have a different type of maybe building for these COVID people or something else outside of the hospital where people come for emergencies.
Sure.
So it seems like a new plan needs to be had for these locations.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know, that's interesting. I hope that everyone is safe and, other than that, that's all I got on that one.
So, kind of going from that, Busta Rhymes had a bit of a rant I'm just curious about what your thoughts are on that. Yeah, what are your thoughts about Busta Rhymes?
When he said fuck the mask?
And it's encroaching upon the civil liberties and civil rights, yeah.
I feel forcing people to take a shot is that, but wearing a mask is whatever. But I wear my mask, so I definitely believe in that piece. Because if someone cough on me, we're gonna have a problem. So that's what I think about when I am wearing a mask. I don't really think it's to me I don't know, but I wear a mask because of other people. And so that is the piece that I believe in, because other people just do dumb shit, and so yeah, I don't want to be a part of that.
So let me pose this question then, I think this also kind of ties into the protest and the walkout. So for someone, again, you have the right, as we talked about last podcast, whether you're vaccinated, unvaccinated, what you decide to do, but it's kind of like what you decide as a person to go out into the world and do. So. In the setting that Busta Rhymes said that, he was at a concert or at some type of festival of some sort.
Correct.
So he was stating, fuck the mask, thing at a place where it's a highly populated area. So for someone that is unvaccinated, but also not following social distancing as well as wearing a face mask, how do you feel about that? About that individual who apparently doesn't give weight to the contracting it in the way that the press or the media or the medical field has impression that upon people. Again, just if they're unvaccinated, not social distancing, having large gatherings, not wearing face masks, do you condone that? Do you think that's not something that's responsible? What are your thoughts?
I think that they have the right to do that.
There's that.
All right. They have the right to do what they please in that manner. So if they decide not to get vaccinated and decide to go to a large ass event and not wear a mask, then I can't be like, can't believe you're not doing it. Do I believe they should do at least the mask one? Absolutely. Large events, I would not be going to, but that's just me personally. But again, that's just my preference. But should you wear a mask if you are in a large event? Absolutely. Should you wear a mask in general? To me, yes. But if that person doesn't believe in it, I'm not going to be like, you are out here ruining the world, because that person could absolutely never contract it, and a person wearing a mask could contract it. So it's literally I don't want to say it doesn't matter what you do, because it definitely does. But literally, a person that gets vaccinated, a person that doesn't mean that the one that does is not going to get it, and doesn't mean the one that isn't vaccinated is going to get it. So yeah. My answer is it is their right. Okay. Is the short version of that, I guess.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, anybody who I feel as if does not adhere to at least what the minimal responsible requirements are for, COVID and being able to potentially stop the spread of, whether it be masks, whether it be the distancing piece. I don't want you around me, because I do believe that those things are what attribute to the spread of it. You have the right to do whatever you want, but you ain't gonna do it around me.
I definitely would have to say that the going to events is definitely a high one on that one. Contributes. The mask one, it's just me personally. I prefer that because, again, people be coughing and shit everywhere, and that's just me personally. I'm like, I'm okay. So that's why I wear it. But, again, I'm already vaccinated, but we already have a conversation about that.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think it's really just whatever your preference is. I do not believe that a vaccine should be forced upon people. Should a mask be forced upon people?
I think when we're in the middle of a pandemic, there's a very different conversation. I think when people talk about civil liberties, I think when people talk about the Constitution, I think you're talking about something very separate than what the quote-unquote founding fathers were creating when they wrote the Constitution. They weren't talking about a pandemic. They weren't talking about any of that. They were talking about as it is and as the world exists outside of natural disasters and pandemics.
So they said that? Or that's what your assumption is?
Sure.
I'm asking.
I feel like it's very clear what I'm saying there.
An assumption.
Sure.
I'm asking a question.
I feel like the statement I'm making is very clear. There's not an assumption. That's they created that based on just regular day-to-day activities. Again, the majority of people who wrote the Constitution were bringing things, various diseases to a country and killing off the people. So it's not as if they cared much about that. So currently, I don't believe that outlines, and again, that's something that is centuries old and is not updated for something that is so current as the things that we're dealing with either. So that's just, the face mandate piece. Just stay inside. If you don't care enough, fine, stay in. I do think there is enough scientific evidence to back that it is something that is real. There are enough people who have died from it. Whether or not you want to compare it to the common flu or not, there are enough people who have died from it that I think should substantiate enough that it's not something that is something as common as what a lot of people try to compare it to. But, it is what it is.
Well, yeah. I ain't got nothing else to say on that one. I guess, everybody has their different opinions upon what COVID is and if it's real or not, or X, Y, and Z. The main thing is hopefully people stay safe, because that's very important. And, wear a mask. That's really about it. At least do that, I guess. But other than that, yeah. So what are we talking about now?
What's up next?
I don't know. It's your turn. It is though. Or is it my turn? Fuck, I don't know. We're gonna talk about Governor Andrew Cuomo. Is that how you say it? Cuomo, and apparently his resignation after the sexual assault investigation, and based on his saying lack thereof, which basically he was saying that in the justice system, you're supposed to go based on and do the full investigation and go based not off of allegations and things of that nature, which I thought was very interesting. But we'll start with you.
And he mentions a firecracker can start off a stampede, essentially stating a firecracker which poses no harm or threat to those around them, but just hearing that commotion then ignites chaos around. So it's essentially alluding to the allegations against him of sexual assault. Whether, obviously, you want to thoroughly investigate and verify, but regardless of what the validity is of the accusations, those accusations are going to tarnish whoever it is, period, that they're against.
Correct.
With or without, again, the due process and the justice portion of it. So it seems as if, regardless of what actually comes out of the investigation, he decided to go ahead and resign. Now, a piece that I find very interesting about it all is that Governor Cuomo was one of the main people when COVID first broke. So he's the governor of New York.
Yes.
He is I would say one of the main and only outspoken governors about COVID because of how hard New York was hit and all of the campsites that they had to set up outside of the actual hospital. All of, very unfortunately, the delivery trucks that were filled with dead bodies because they didn't have capacity at morgues. He was very transparent and showed all of that, which was very I'd say anti is the proper word, anti the position that Trump was taking, Trump took a very laissez-faire. COVID is not this serious. COVID's like a passing thing. The mask thing was not that serious for him. Whereas like Andrew Cuomo was like, regardless of what the country is doing, this is what I want our people to do. I want you to see what my state is going through. That way you understand this is not something to play with. Mm-hmm. And, you know, not too long after Trump loses, these sexual assault allegations come against him. I don't think that is by chance. Whether or not they're valid, that's a whole different conversation. But it is very interesting for the time frame. I don't know how long he has been governor, but to my understanding, he's been there for some time. Mm-hmm. And for as long as he's been there, this is when the allegations come to light. And he's being pushed to resign after Trump does not win. And after all of the hell he gave Trump through the last piece of his presidency due to COVID. And he very publicly denounced him and the actions that he was taking in regards to the pandemic. So, I think it's in terms of interesting as well as telling how people will be targeted when they're a threat to you.
That's a conversation on its own. That sentence you just said. Mm-hmm. There's a whole 3-hour conversation. No,
this is the current day context.
Yeah, but that's literally how it is with a lot of things. If you are a threat in any capacity, especially with people that have power of some sort, which, you know, that person, you know, does, then you absolutely are going to be a target in some way, form, fashion, anything. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, I really hope the allegations aren't true. But then it's like, I hope that a person doesn't lie about them. It's like...
You're both ways.
Yeah, it's like, why lie about it? But then I hope it's not true. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But people absolutely lie about it. I'm not saying this person does. I don't even know who the person is or any of that.
It's multiple people
who
have supposedly come forward out and alleged sexual assault against him.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not true. And I don't want to... And if it is true, then he deserves exactly everything that he's going to get for it. If it is not true, then whoever the individuals are, whether male, female, because again, I don't know who it is, whoever that is, hopefully they get exactly what they deserve. Because those people, I absolutely, if a person is lying about those things, should absolutely go to jail. Mm-hmm. A lot of them don't, but they absolutely should. Mm-hmm. So, again, hopefully it's not, but if it is, well... Governor, get your ass on to jail, bro.
Right.
But it is interesting the time frame that is occurring in. I'm surprised it didn't happen during, though.
I think that was something they were pressing upon during, if I'm not mistaken, back when Trump was in presidency. He was calling into question, not necessarily sexual assault, but I think Trump was pressuring for resignation just based on the stance that Cuomo was taking against him. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, he was always
so
he don't like when people go against him. But that's just like we talk. Sportsmanship is a thing, y'all. People aren't going to agree with you all the time. It's all right. Mm-hmm. Live life. It's okay. You don't have to agree all the time, as long as it's not disrespectful in any way. But even then, depending upon what it is, sometimes it got to be. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just got to, take it the way that it's given to you. But, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So, I guess we'll figure out and see how that unfolds and let y'all lovelies know.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll continue to monitor. I'm sure I hope they would, but you know how media is
until
manipulated. But I hope that something is followed through with the investigations that they have with him.
At the end, they probably will be.
So moving from that, going into more of, pop culture stuff that's going on, kind of heading away from the more serious stuff. There has been reports that Saweetie and Quavo have been kind of seeing each other on the low key, here and there over the last couple months. We definitely discussed the elevator incident where it showed them kind of getting to a scuffle, potentially. Maybe started by herself on the outside, but once you get into the side of the elevator, there seems more to be Quavo involved versus Saweetie. But we definitely, reported on that initially, but that seems to be, they might be working something out, maybe getting a common ground, maybe reestablishing a relationship. Who knows? But there have been reports about that. So what are your thoughts in terms of that? Definitely seems to some extent, no matter who it is, there is some type of, there's a physical abusiveness there, or there is a physicality to that relationship that isn't appropriate, at least in my opinion. What are your thoughts about getting back with someone after something like that has happened in a relationship? One, is it a possibility for you to get back with them? And if there is, what are steps that need to be taken in order to do so? After what you saw in the elevator, could you reconcile with someone afterwards? What you saw in the elevator?
No, I don't believe in physical. So any sign of physical or any actual you physically hitting me is a no-go for me.
Right.
So there is no coming back. I don't foresee. It doesn't mean that person can't grow and X, Y, and Z, but for me, it's just not something that I would be able to go back and be like, okay, we can try to make it work. Nope. Because once you lay a finger on me in that manner, absolutely not. One, I'm two-piecing your ass. You might get something else.
Bong bang. Gotcha.
And yeah, no. No. No.
I agree.
And most of those people, because I've physically seen it, majority of my life with my mother and the gentleman that she's talked to, a lot of them, that was a physical relationship. So I've literally seen it until she basically passed away, basically, for the most part. But other than that, like, I don't see how, and it was a continuous thing. The person is always going to say, I'm never going to do it. It was only that one time, because you pressed my button or whatever it may be. No, absolutely not. I don't care what buttons have been pushed. Absolutely not. Right. Only time I ever say when a man could possibly physically touch on a woman in that manner, not knocking like he was knocking, but like to push away, is if she's physically trying to whoop his ass. Then at that point, you need to be able to protect yourself. I'm not saying you need a two-piecer, but you need to do something where you're able to separate yourself from said person. But other than that, no. Like, I don't see why there's any physical. I don't believe in that at all. Yeah. I've only had one person try that. Never happened again.
Yeah. No. I'm with you. I understand. I get where you're coming from. So I don't think there's any type of reconciliation after a situation like Quavo and Saweetie had. I definitely think that there is, you two individually need to have, I don't think you two need to come back together afterwards, because you two have that, that past piece, and you both are prone to that, it looks like. So you two need to seek the appropriate help, the appropriate therapy, and then you need to find different people to then invest in afterwards. Because
there's always going to be that piece.
Yes.
It's never going to go away.
Yes.
Regardless if you both change, it's always going to be in the back of your mind. I don't foresee it ever. Like, oh, it really will never happen again. We both really changed X, Y, and Z. But truly, have you? If something really pops off, are you going to revert back to your old ways? Like, it's a lot that goes into that. And, like I said, mentally abuse is important as well. I think physical to me maybe is just higher, again, because what I've seen majority of my younger life is just something that, one thing I would never tolerate. And that's one of the things I tell someone that I'm talking with probably maybe after the first couple dates. And it may be weird, but I just let them know up front. I joke around with a lot of shit. I play around with a lot of shit. We always have a good time. But once you try to physically lay your hands on me, I'm going to fuck your ass up. there are probably gonna be other people that fuck your ass up, and I guess we'll see if you're gonna be walking. I don't know what to tell you past that point. That's just I have a lot of I don't want to say a lot of pet peeves, but I don't think that's a pet peeve. I'm trying to figure out another word for it, but that's one thing I absolutely don't tolerate.
Zero tolerance for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously, if it's sexual, it's different, but if it's not, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm interested to see how this goes.
I hope it's fake. Is it real news though? Is it real news or fake news? Is we faking? Is it fake?
We don't use the fake news words on this. That was created by someone who we don't fuck with.
Well, is it real or is it fraudulent?
We'll see. That's to be determined. So I mean, we'll see.
I hope it's not. I really do.
Unfortunately, so multiple things come into that play. One, those who cause trauma to each other tend to, one, always come back to one another. Two, there's a familiarity there. Three, they were a great brand when they were together. So there's money to be made off them being together. There's chemistry, there's past, there's familiarity.
But is money
that is what brings people who are in that trauma bond back together.
But is money that important and that piece? I know like being rich is on a whole different level that I'm not on yet because I'm claiming it. But is money that important that you have to deal with that?
I mean, money wasn't the only thing that I listed. Money was one of the three things.
But that was, yes, the familiarity and,
the trauma bond. Trauma bond. People without money come back together just based on the trauma bond.
Which is, yes, interesting. Yep.
So there's the trauma bond, there's the familiarity, and then again, they were a great brand when they were together. So all of those things, I don't necessarily think, thinking about myself and why I may go back to someone who, whether or not it does or does not include the physical piece. If it's just someone who just like treats me like crap, like doesn't have my best interests, and I know this, but why do I keep going back to them? It may just be that familiarity piece, or Saweetie may have confidence issues. She may display one thing, but how she truly feels about herself may be very different. And so, I don't know about nobody else, but I know that Quavo likes it. I know Quavo will be there. So it could just be a low self-esteem thing too. Again, I'm not putting that on her. I don't know if that's her. But those are pieces that make people go back to people who they know are not good for them.
True. Absolutely. Been there, done that. Shit you gotta learn. It's absolutely stuff you gotta learn. So I agree 100%. I hope that it isn't true. And if it is, hopefully y'all have done the proper things that maybe it could work and we could be wrong. Maybe it could. But really the counseling is going to be a high thing in that. The reason of why. People physically touch other people for a reason. It's not just because, X, Y, and Z. It's either you were physically abused or whatever it may be, mentally even abused, and now you've turned that into a physical abuse. It could be because you have anger issues. It could be because you have control issues. There's a lot that goes into it. It's just not let me punch this person because I want to. Like, that's not usually how it goes.
Right.
So that means there's something deeper. And in order for you to fit this person or anyone else, you have to go through that whole trauma, which most people aren't going to, one, want to go through. And two, if they go through, are they really being honest during that whole counseling process to get the end result to really progress forward? The answer to the second one is usually no. Right. Unfortunately.
Right. So, if they have decided to reconcile, I do hope that they've done the work and that we don't see what we saw in the public again.
Or period.
I don't, not just because it was caught on camera by a camera in an elevator, but because it just isn't happening, period. Not because they're being more careful about where they express that type of abuse.
Yeah. So I guess maybe playing off a little bit of it is the craziness that's going on. So the crate challenge Y'all, from Velvet to y'all, stop it. Just stop. Why? Like, if y'all don't know what the crate challenge is, I don't know where y'all been, but people are building crates like a pyramid, and they're going up, and some make it up. Some make it to the top, the tippity tip top, but can't make it down. Some barely make it up 3 or 4 of the crates and fall and bust their ass.
I think it's at least like 6 high.
Yeah.
It's not like 7 or 8.
1, 2,
between
3,
6
4,
to 8.
5. Yeah, I'm probably like
Between 6 to 8 crates high.
And I just am not what are the word? I do not understand.
Not clear.
On why? What's the point? Who came up with it? Why did you come up? You was that bored during COVID. You was that bored. You don't have nothing else to do.
So I don't know if it originated with Boosie, but I do know that he was offering $5,000 to anyone who could successfully complete it.
I need that cash out first.
I did. You have to complete it.
Okay.
He was offering $5,000 to anyone who successfully
Did he really do it?
No one successfully completed it. So those who were there with him, not necessarily anybody who
okay,
was
that's what I was
watching it,
asking.
but there was maybe there was at least 3 people who I remember doing it. One was his son, one was OK Cyrus, maybe, I think his name. I think it was a woman as well. And
nobody completed it?
No, not at all. So now it's then, cause other people to do it. I have seen this one lady, this one woman, she completed that shit in high heels.
Well, I didn't see that one.
Oh,
bitch, you a star.
And then
who you
came
is?
back with tennis shoes on. Her homegirl came up opposite directions, met in the middle, switched spots, and then went down. And they both did it.
Who is y'all?
Mind
See,
you,
women.
same woman was in the high heels and then went up with her girlfriend, like her best friend. Same woman did that both times.
So whoever you is, you did that shit. And second, women do shit. You heard.
I've seen a couple guys complete it, but I've seen women do it. Like,
yeah.
I've seen them touch
how
the
fuck you come?
box.
But how the fuck you go up in heels?
And she had, when I tell you, her steady was unmatched.
Oh, she just said, bitch,
She went up. Her steady and calm.
She just said, bitch, I'm rolling with it. She was, yes.
She was doing it.
You gotta send me that one, 'cause I ain't seen that one. I seen a couple. I seen one dude that was rolling a blunt. You see that one? Yeah, he went up and then he stood at the top, rolled a blunt, and everybody was like, "You better not fall, 'cause you drop that, we ain't gonna be able to find it in the grass." But he was up there, rolled a blunt, lit all that thing. He stepped down on one foot, had one on the top one, started licking it, rolling it, finished rolling it, and then he walked down and he finished. And I said, okay, that was interesting. But the hill ones beat that one, because I ain't seen that one. The most interesting one was that one. I was trying to think there was maybe another one. What was this other one? That was an interesting one, but I can't. I think one like went up there and did something crazy, like some pose or some shit. But the hill one, I feel like still outbeats it, because one, you in heels on crates. Don't them bitches got holes in it?
Yes.
Yeah. On heels, crates, did it. Then came back, tennis shoes, did it with another broad.
Yes. She did that.
So, yes, absolutely. All right. Well, go ahead. I will never. You gonna do it? We're gonna record Fee Baby, y'all. Ooh, y'all cheer her on.
Absolutely not.
No?
Let's go ahead and do that now.
We ain't.
Let's go ahead.
No.
It's
not.
It's not hitting on nothing you talking about.
It's not. We ain't. Okay.
We're not. Absolutely not.
No,
it's
we're not.
A wrap.
Okay.
We're not.
Dang, y'all, I was trying to get it. Matter of fact, we actually gonna go back to something, because I tried to get Fee Baby to do a video with me this weekend for TikTok. And what happened, Fee Baby? Go ahead. She kept trying to play, and she didn't want to do it.
We just didn't record it. We practiced it. We just didn't
I
record
literally
it.
asked you, I said, you ready to practice? You ready to do it? And you was like,
we can do it.
so what we doing? We going bowling? She's tried it, y'all. But I'm going to get it. We going to do it. We doing the, I don't even know what it's
It's
called.
the breakfast challenge.
Is that this one?
Uh-huh.
What's the other one that we said was
Oh,
going
that's
to
Meg the Stallion. It's a... Oh, nah.
Decide. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we about to do both, y'all. We going to fuck it up. Oh, I had a joke. It was there, and I'm so glad I didn't say it because we on a recording. But do you feel what I was gonna say when you did that?
I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I just wanted you to know that it almost slipped out, and I kept it in.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to say it.
Okay.
But only because it hit my head, and I was like, oh! But I was like, nope, just kidding, don't do that. Not that.
Not that.
Yes. All right. So I guess we're gonna move on to a topic or something.
Yeah. Let's dive into, our topic today.
Mm-hmm,
So, my question to you is, first question, is, does your partner's body count matter to you?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't matter the number. It could be triple digits, double
Correct.
digits, single digits.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. So, do you want to discuss and or explore with that individual what their prior encounters are?
As in, like, were they all relationships or were they all fuck buddies? Is that what you mean by that question? I don't.
Whatever it is.
Okay, I didn't know if you meant, like, the physical act, like, when y'all out there, fucking flying from trees and shit.
Yeah,
or
do you
something
want, like, them to kind of go through things that were pivotal to them or discuss, like, who certain people were to them? Just that you have kind of a catalog of things.
I wouldn't say I would want to know everything. No, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably want to know the ones that were the most important. So usually the relationship ones, like not what they physically did per se, but like maybe if there's something that he wanted to try but they weren't willing to, that's something that could be a conversation. Or like if the person meant a lot to him, then I feel like that's important because that is a past relationship. So there could be either leftover shit that is there, or it could just be deaded, but usually there's something left over, some piece of her that is left with him. And so you have to decide, based on that conversation. And I think usually when you have that conversation, you can always pick up on people's faces. And how they're talking about it to see where they truly are in wherever you and that person is in y'all's relationship or whatever you are at that moment. So like if y'all in a relationship or if y'all just getting to know each other, if that person is like, to me, if you're like super smiling and shit while you're talking about this ex, I have questions. Like, I understand it was your ex, but you're like really over here blushing and shit while you're talking about that. To me, I feel like there's still some type of connection, and maybe there's something you need to figure out. But that's just me, and maybe it's just because things I've been through. But usually, if I'm like, I used to date this dude named, give me a name.
Jackson.
I used to date this dude named Jackson, and we used to go out and have so much fun. And I'm doing all the smiling shit. Like, how would you feel if you talking to a person and they doing all that shit? Like, I would not like it. Like, to me, there's still something there that you're reminiscing about and some other shit that you need to work out. So, important relationships, and if there's anything that person may want to explore, or maybe something that they already did with someone else that they still want to try to do because they really like enjoyed it, like, I'm just going to throw out something crazy, like an orgy or, I don't know, something. And then, that's something y'all can have a conversation about. Okay, you did an orgy. Maybe why did you do that? Is it something you like to do on a regular basis? Because I think that leads to other things to figure out if you and that person are really compatible in that manner. What about you? So first question, does your partner's body count?
No, I think the piece that matters is what are your sexual habits? Like protection, like testing. I think because no matter how many partners you have, one partner puts you at risk for exposing you to XYZ elemental P. So I think that's the most important thing. I don't think the number necessarily really matters as much as are you being safe? Are you protecting yourself?
Correct.
I will say that regardless of what we're discussing now, I do know that society will try to shun someone with a specific number of bodies on them. Usually once anyone reaches double digits, it's a shunning piece to them. But I have gotten to the point of wanting to be more open-minded and trying to, again, separate from that. Because, again, the main piece is, are you bringing something to my bed with me? Are you giving something to me? Are you not being safe while you are, having these partners?
In those activities.
Yeah, that's the important piece with it, period. Because one person can expose you to a sexually transmitted disease. So that's my piece as far as like your count. As far as like wanting to know about the prior partners, it'd be more or less those pivotal pieces. Either something that help you recognize something about your sexuality, what you do, what you don't like, or something that exposed you to something you don't like, or that made you feel like uncomfortable, like something that you wanted to try but someone else didn't. Or I think it's important to be like, people disclose all about their private, like their personal and private and past like relationships, like, oh, this is the reason why I don't trust somebody, or like this is the reason why I do this, why XYZ. But I think like sex is such a taboo thing that there are a lot of things that happen during your sexual encounters as well that are taboo, or maybe you want to try something and someone else didn't like it, or you did try it and you didn't like it. I think those things are just as much important in exploring as talking about why someone gave you trust issues.
Correct.
I think that is just as important as well. I think it's important to understand the backstory of,
why they are who they
the
are.
holistic piece.
Yeah. Sexually, and I'm quite sure some of that comes into other aspects of the relationship as well. I absolutely agree. I feel like you have to, like we talk about all the time, you have to have the conversation. You have to be open to having conversations. Just like, most men don't like anything anal, but there are some people that do, but a lot of men don't feel comfortable expressing that with a woman that they're talking to, because most women are going to think, oh, well, he's gay because he likes something anal. It doesn't mean that he's gay. That is a part of his physical body, and it does bring pleasure. If you get your ass lit, guess what?
Vice versa, a male playing with a woman's. Like that's the same piece. Like they think that the reason why they're playing with that. No, there are pleasure points, G-spots, that are also located there for men.
Exactly.
There are pleasure points for women there too.
Absolutely. And so it's just making sure that person, whether male, female, or whatever, understands that having an open conversation you're okay with, and you're not judging them when they give you that information. It's literally the key part is you not judging them when you give the information.
Right.
And so if you say, you know what, I absolutely love when my ass is lit, and if he says that to me, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's weird. Even if you may think it, like, if you never dealt with it, which is, I used to be that person. I never expressed that to the person, but when someone asked me to do that, I was like, I'm not comfortable with it, because I didn't want that person to never come back to me about something else. But I just said, right now I'm not comfortable with it. I am not comfortable with doing that. And that was my response. It wasn't just like, nope, you gay, or nope, X, Y, and Z, because that is going to make that person uncomfortable, and you will literally probably never get anything else out of them because of that. And so how is a relationship supposed to grow without that conversation piece, without that trusting piece, and without that judgment? So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much tracking the same as yourself. I think it's very important to destigmatize someone's body count, because it just, who gives a fuck? Why is that important to you?
And I don't even know mine, so if you ask me, bitch, I'm gonna say,
yo no sé.
More than this and less than this, so somewhere in between. Yeah, we're in between somewhere. Because at one point in my life, I was doing hotels.
Misguided hoes.
I was
been that.
I was having fun. Dang, what is the song of Jasmine Sullivan album? Where she don't remember who she went home with. Oh my God. Well, he went home with again. A friend of a friend. I can't think of it. Damn it. And Fee ain't helping at all over here.
Can't help you, sis.
I think it's called Bodies. It's called Bodies. There we go. See y'all. I just had to go through the motions in the song and
There
shit.
you go.
But it's
There you
called
go.
Bodies, where she literally is like, bitch, what you doing? You going through bodies. You don't even remember who you went home with. Was he a 7 or a 10? Was he a 4 or a 3 or a 1?
Like, there really just has to be a destigmatization about
Absolutely.
anybody's body count. Woman's, man's, period.
It's never going to happen
Because
for women.
people tend to act like the more people a woman has, either more promiscuous or loose they are. But you'd be like fucking the same person over and over again, even if you're a committed relationship, as much as you be fucking these like
18 people?
whatever people who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So if them 18 people can stretch you out, this one person you've been with for these last couple months, couple years can do the same thing. These 18 people can do. So just relax with trying to press that narrative on anyone. I know specifically it's more pressed on women than men. Absolutely, they say, you know, a key unlocking. Would you like prefer a key that can unlock, you know, what you call it, or a lock that can be unlocked by any key? Whatever bullshit they've always tried to say about women and being, you know, sexually free.
Mm-hmm. And all that shit.
But yeah, again, if you're saying that her having multiple partners can stretch her out, so can the one fucking man that she's with multiple times a week can do the same thing that having multiple partners can. Which she's probably fucking less with those 18 partners than she is with her one person that she's with.
It's just they feel like, oh, she's just a nasty whore because she fucks all these people. No, she just likes to have sex, or she likes to be sexual, or she just enjoying herself in life, just like every other fucking person in the world. I will never judge someone. If they said I slept with 100 people, I'm like, bitch, well, hopefully at least half of them bitches was good. God damn, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully you got some pleasure. And it wasn't just, you know, fucking. Because otherwise that will suck.
Yeah.
You just out here fucking and none of them good? Damn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn. Then you may want to stick with one. Because god damn.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'll be sad. If I were here busting that shit wide open and none of them bitches good, I might have to evaluate myself for real. Like, am I choosing the wrong motherfuckers up in this bitch? Like, what's going on?
Facts though.
But yeah, so don't feel judged, because us over here, I can speak for myself. I ain't judging no motherfucking body.
I don't care. And it's not judgment, yes judgment, no judgment, because of what we are and aren't doing. Just don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do. I don't care what you do. Your body count don't impact me. My body count don't impact you.
The only thing I say is be safe.
Just be safe. Be safe. And that's using protection that's getting tested.
And birth control.
Those are the important pieces with having partners, period. Protection, testing. Those are the most important pieces.
Exactly.
Those are the most important pieces, especially if the people who you are having sex with you don't intend to have children with. That's the main piece.
As well as if you don't know if they out there fucking other, 18, 20, whatever, one other person can literally give you, one person can give you whatever, shit is out there in the world.
Multiple people.
Exactly. And not even know it.
And that's why having conversations with whomever you're with is very important. Even if that's just sexually, if it's not even like you're in a relationship, just sexually, it's important to have that open conversation. Like, hey, while I may not, while it could be you another person in a day, it could be you another person within a week. Maybe I'm not just exclusive to you and your dick alone.
Facts. Or you and your ussy alone.
Just being honest with that person and one, allowing them the opportunity to make the decision based on that information
is important.
But two, you guys can have a conversation again about safe sex, because that is super important.
Yeah. So out there, safe sex.
It's
amen. Protection.
Better use that latex before you get that latex. That
Ooh.
I think I'm latex.
Ooh, yes, come through with it. Come through with it. But facts though. Protection, key. Testing, key. Birth control as a woman, key. Those are keys. As a man, protection, key. Testing, key. That is important. And if you want to do like the story was told to me when I was in college, this girl got like a year's supply of birth control, And she came back after 6 months, and the doctor was like, I gave you a year's supply. She said, yeah, well, I gave it to my boyfriend as well.
What would that do? If I can't believe that is even a true story.
I don't know if it's
cannot
true.
be done because that would put estrogen in a male's body.
I have no idea,
Woo!
but it's college, so it's a 90. I'm gonna say 70% chance that gentleman, if he wanted some ussy, and she said you ain't getting none until you take this pill, what you think he did?
6 months.
What you think he did though?
Yeesh.
What you think he did?
He probably
He took that
it.
pill.
Oh my god.
And so the doctor was like, no, it's for you. She said, well, we wanted to make sure we were safe. And I didn't know if it was a true story or not, but bitch, I left that doctor's office weak. Like, is they serious? But,
Oh my gosh. Oh, young man. All
so
right.
I guess if y'all want to be protected, take some birth control too, sir.
Double dose.
I'm weak. That shit was so funny to me. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a good laugh. I needed that. Oh my goodness. That's crazy as fuck. But, as always, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell everybody. And obviously, Fee got my book over here because she spilt shit and stuff. So she can go ahead and promote it.
ABC.
Negative. More excitement.
We didn't promote.
Mhm.
ABC. Learn to write workbook. Amazon.com.
Facts. And make sure that you don't read like she just did. Okay?
I'm back here now on GMA. We were celebrating.
Look what she just did, y'all.
Karma is a whole bitch.
Look what she just did. Amazon, be quiet. She did that, y'all.
You get to see all the behind the scenes of how life works
Facts.
while trying to record clumsiness coming into play.
Because I'm not taking out any of this. I just want y'all to know up front. None of it. Shit spilled. Her getting up to get this cup. Her calling on AZ over there because I ain't going to say it because otherwise they'll beef again.
A to the is on.
But yeah, so please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe to everybody. Go ahead and get the book. Support a woman, support me. Support a black business, support a female business. That's all I got. Love y'all and
Life. It's tough, my dear, but
Mhm.
so are
you. Woo 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 woo. No.
Let it go. Let it go.
And make sure.
Make sure what? What are we making sure?
And remember that each of you are beautiful and to never stay what?
Stagnant.
In your motherfucking life.
Bye, guys.